nelle antiche terre di Lenape, e è un luogo di un significato molto rilevante per questa tribù antica e ancestrale. I circoli di tenda verdi nascono in settembre in Italia e in Spagna, e attraverso sul recente website trova di aiutare attraverso diverse lingue a tutti il povo nel mondo. Sono circoli sacrati che sono formati per prendere cura uno degli altri e prendere cura della nostra madre terra.
La ONU en la ciudad de Nueva York está ubicada en las tierras ancestrales de Lenape, que tienen un significado de larga duración de tierras para las naciones Lenape pasadas y presentes. Green Tent Circle, nacido en noviembre en Italia y España, se está formando recientemente como un sitio web que ayuda en todos los idiomas a llegar a todo el mundo. Los Green Tent Circles son todos círculos sagrados que se unen para cuidarse unos a otros y a la Madre Tierra.
Okay. Did we already talk about the green? Oh, no, we haven't. Sorry. All right. The Green Tent Circle was born in November in Italy and in Spain, and is newly forming with a website that will help with languages and reaching out around the world. Green Tent Circles are all sacred circles that come together and caring for one another and Mother Earth. Angela, translation.
Por favor, ponha os seus microfones em mudo, porque nós teremos tempo nos 25 minutos dentro dos chats para falar e ouvir sem fazer julgamento. Para as 3 línguas, sem ser o inglês, coloque um S para espanhol antes de seu nome, I para italiano e P para português. Se não puder fazê-lo, coloque no chat seu nome com a língua respectiva. E, por favor, após, não usem o chat, porque a nossa equipe técnica possa arrumar cada grupo por língua. Cada grupo terá um facilitador e um encarregado de controlar o tempo e também de fazer anotações sobre os pontos importantes discutidos na conversa para mandar para o info@greententcircles.com.
Ok, allora per favore, se adesso potete rendere silenziosi i vostri microfoni, in modo tale da creare uno spazio di parola libero e senza giudizio. Poi ci saranno le traduzioni, ogni gruppo in inglese, in spagnolo, in italiano e in portoghese.
No. Per ogni nome deve incluire nell'atto la lingua che prefere parlare. S per spagnolo, I per italiano e P per portoghese. Se não puder farlo, vá nel chat e nel chat indique a língua respectiva junto ao tuo nome. Rogamos que dopo não use il chat per niente, perché il chat sarà in lavoro per il gruppo tecnico, che starà a fare un logo, un chat per ogni lingua. E in ogni chat deve avere un facilitatore, anche una persona che sarà incarregata di controllare il tempo e di fare notazioni di quello importante parlato per mandare a info greententcircle.com.
Silencie su micrófono. Tendrá 25 minutos en la sala de reuniones para hablar y ser escuchado sin juzgarlo. Todos los 3 idiomas, además de inglés, pongan una S en español antes de su nombre, una I de italiano y una P de portugués. Si no sabe cómo hacer esto, inclúyalo en el chat con su nombre e idioma, además del inglés. Por favor, todos los demás no usen el chat para que nuestros Zoomers técnicos puedan organizar las salas de reuniones. Cada sala de trabajo tendrá un facilitador, un cronometrador y una grabadora que nos enviará los puntos destacados de la conversación después a info@greententcircle.com.
All right, now in English. Please continue to have your mic on mute. We will have 25 minutes in our breakout rooms to speak and to be listened to without judgment. For the 3 languages only, put S for Spanish, if that is your language, in where your name is. You'll see I have a 1 and then I have an A, and then if I spoke Spanish, I would have an S and then Ann Smith, or P for Ann Smith. And hopefully you can figure that one out, but you can go, and I'm going to have Betty explain it in just a minute. Okay, so then you would have I for Italian, and you have P for Portuguese.
They could also put it in chat, if that's easier.
Right, and put it in chat. And so for everyone else, please don't use the chat. That way, our tech people, when we do the breakout groups, will be able to have all those who are Spanish speaking go to that group. Okay, does everybody understand that?
Do that only if you do not speak English. We assume you speak English unless you tell us differently.
Yes, and then we will obviously just put all the English ones in different groups, and they will be in small groups, and we will have a facilitator, we'll have a timekeeper and a recorder. And as they said, we'll be sending the highlights to us afterwards, the recorder, but that will all be explained later. All our bios of our guest speakers who will be speaking now and are on our website. So we'll be very brief because you can see with the different translations, it takes time. They will not be right now translated into the different languages. But we're going to ask them to take the essence of what they have spoken and to give it to us on our website. And if you can, to put it in your Google translation so that it is translated for our sisters who will not be able to understand, because we don't have simultaneous translation. And we apologize for that. Someday, hopefully on Zoom, we'll be able to do that. Okay, we do have a timekeeper. And that is Victoria, do you want to ring your chime so you can hear it? But you're on mute, so we can't hear it.
There we go.
Okay, try it again. All right, well, I didn't, all right, when you do it, I didn't hear it. Try it again and go louder. Okay. We'll work on that. But that's 5 minutes.
If you see someone doing this and you hear a little something, those will be.
I heard it. That was good. Okay, so we are ready to begin with our wonderful speakers, but we were going to start by opening our sacred circle. And Angela, do you want to introduce?
Yes.
Were any of those instructions going to be translated?
They already did that.
Okay.
Yes, everything is done. Okay, we are blessed to have Grandmother Susan Kaiulani Stanton, Mohawk native Hawaiian, to open our sacred circle by honoring the 7 directions.
Thank you, Angela. So my name is Susan Kaiulani Stanton, and I am here on the eastern shore of the Mississippi River, which we call the main artery. Are you able to hear me okay, Angela? Am I coming through?
Yes, clear and perfect.
Okay, we're considered the main artery of Turtle Island, which now is the North American continent, but originally we were all one landmass. And at that time, we were given the name of the main artery of the heart of the turtle. And so I'm here today and I'm going to open us, but I want to begin by saying that this is so wonderful that this is the beginning, because it's never going to be perfect in the beginning, but it grows into perfection. And I know I tried so hard to get on, and I'm glad I made it, and I'm glad I'm with you. Calling in the 7 directions is such a powerful responsibility. And so I'm prepared now to do that. I have 2 elders with me. I have an Odawa elder, Laurel Robertson, and a Blackfoot elder, Art Robertson. And they're right here just offside of the camera, but they're here with me to back me up and to support as we take us all into this. So I'm going to ask now that everyone please mute, and that means everybody, because it's hard to get the sound unless we're all muted. And I'm going to begin. I'm going to face to the east, and then the south, and then the west, and then the north, and then up to Father Sky, and down to Mother Earth, and then ultimately to the center. And when we get there, you'll see what I mean. So with that, I would like to invite you all to stand up with me so that we can do this together. And I will do the song for all of us. So again, facing the east. Grandmother, I see you sitting in the east. You are sacred. You are sacred. And you are looking at me. Grandmother, I see you sitting in the south. You are sacred. You are sacred. And you are looking at me. Grandmother, I see you sitting in the west. You are sacred. You are sacred. And you are looking at me. Grandmother, I see you sitting in the north. You are sacred. You are sacred. And you are looking at me. Grandmother, I see you sitting in the sky. You are sacred. You are sacred. And you are looking at me. Grandmother, I see you sitting in the earth. You are sacred. You are sacred. And you are looking at me. Grandmother, I see you sitting in my heart. I am sacred. I am sacred. Dear grandmother, dear grandfather, creator gods, as we now come before you in this sacred way from all 7 directions, we ask you please to help us to be mindful of our needs, both individually, in our circle, and as nations, one family, in Mother Earth. Help us, please, to find the peace and maintain it. Bless our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren and all those unborn faces yet to come. Bless our men, our protector warriors, our grandfathers, our wise sages. Bless all of the women, the birth givers, the givers of life. Bless the grandmothers, because no matter how hard it gets, we will always have food on the table. We will always have a bed for our families to sleep in, even if we stand and go hungry. We love you for the example that you give to us, for your ever-changing seasons, for the waters, for the earth, for all the animals, the 2-legged, the 4-legged, the winged ones, the creepers, the crawlers, and those that walk upon you. May we do it in peace. May we honor you by being all that we are capable of being. And this we ask and pray for you, Aho Mitaki, as one family, one nation. Aho. Amen. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Susan. That was beautiful. So next, we are pleased to introduce you the anthropologist Maria Livia Alga, who will read a sample of Verona's Green Tent Diary.
So good afternoon, maybe you have to know the clear.
Well, I hope the sound will come back. Thanks to technology, it's either wonderful or it is frustrating.
Now?
Still an echo.
Angela, she should speak through your microphone and not her own.
Yes. Okay, I think that now it will be okay. You have just to... Devi spegnere il tuo audio del computer. Solo fate vedere il microfono. No, l'audio del computer. Come se tu non sentissi nulla. Okay. So, water is sensible to words. The word said vibrates. We are living water, born from the water, broken from the mother, from the navel, from a source. Near the river, the ocean is the destiny. Everything goes to the ocean. Let's hold hands over the river. The Pacific Ocean isn't Pacific. Where the waves are strong, I enjoy surfing the waves. Waves have one rhythm, like a remembrance of that we are made of. I push myself in a boot, only with someone else. Getting into the deep touches a string, the darkest fear. At night, I feel the waves. Being away from the origin, it's very painful, and even the ocean bleeds. The infinite endlessness is found in the small, in the ocean and in a tent. I'm going inside the womb. The temple is our body. And now I will read in Italian.
I think you need to unmute Angela.
Il mare era il destino, tutto va al mare. L'Oceano Pacifico non è così. Le onde sono forti.
I can hear they're having terrible trouble with their sound. They are in Verona, Italy. They are in Italy. It's a beautiful, beautiful writing that we will have on our website in English, Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian, of course. They were to read it in both languages. But maybe we'll just, since the sound is so bad, if that's okay, we'll just post it.
Volete che lo rileggo?
May she try to read now, because she just closed her equipment
Okay,
and
yeah.
in mine.
All right.
Do you have time for that? Do we
Yes.
have time for that?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, go ahead.
So maybe I can read in Italian first.
Okay.
Ok. L'acqua è sensibile alle parole. La parola detta vibra. Siamo acqua viva. Nate dalle acque versate dalle madri, da un ombelico, da una sorgente. Vicino ad un fiume il mare era il destino, tutto va al mare. Ci prendiamo per mano in tanti sulla riva. L'Oceano Pacifico non è così pacifico. Dove le onde sono forti, mi piace prendere le onde, sono un ritmo, come un ricordo di ciò di cui siamo fatti. Mi spingo al largo, solo con qualcuno. Entrare nel profondo fa toccare una corda, le paure più scure. Di notte risento l'onda. Stare lontane dall'origine è doloroso, anche il mare sanguina. L'immensità infinita trova dimora nel piccolo, l'oceano in una tenda. Vado a inuterarmi, il tempio è il nostro corpo.
Okay, thank you. Angela, I think you have a wonderful story for us about a very remote area.
Okay. Well, I would like to speak a little bit about the green tent that actually started in Spain with 4 wonderful young women that were very touched by the lack of a place for those immigrants that came from Africa, a safe place for them. So they came up with this idea of having a green tent where these people could feel very welcome. And they started doing that. The first one, I think, was in Sicily. And then Professora Rosana from the University of Verona had got some resources, and with Casa di Ramia, which is commune place where they receive immigrant women, especially from Africa, and to have our green tent be done here. So we started our green tent. It was done in September, and what Livia read was part of the diary of this green tent done here. And it started to grow, you know, and because everybody who heard about green tent was really interested on it, on the idea of having a nice, safe place for everyone. So, and Casa de Rania is very symbolic because here used to be 500 years ago, a place, a safe place for women that were accused of witchcraftmanship. So it was a safe place for them. And somehow it had grown. I talked with Anne and talked with someone else, and I talked with all the people that I knew, and Anne did the same, and it's growing, growing, growing. Today we have green tents in Mexico, Honduras, Guatemala, Brazil, Kenya, Spain, Italy, United States, and we plan to keep on growing. And to give you an example of what is a green tent, I can tell you about the movement done in Brazil, in a region central up northeast of Brazil, in a region called Chapada Diamantina. And the women there from one of the communes, a very small village called Cachoeirinha, they started their green tent on a banana leaves canopy because it was, most of them work for us, they sell their labor to coffee farms in the region around, but they live on sustainable agriculture. So they have almost no means, but they have got together and they started a project where they use all products from bananas, because the bananas, after they give the fruit, they die. So they are using the flour to make pastry, they use the palm to prepare flour. They use everything from the banana, including the leaves. They prepare, they dry it out and make very beautiful handicraft things, you know. So this is a very nice example of this women being so close to the earth, from our mother, and how they are using it in a very incredible way, because there is no waste. They use it all, and it helps them feed their own families. So I believe that we have to take people like this as an example to how to care for our Mother Earth. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Angela and I met in Brazil, in Salvador, Brazil, where she's from, back in the 1990. So, and been friends ever since. It's my pleasure now to introduce you to Jennifer, and we'll spotlight Jennifer Comeau. I hope I pronounced that correctly, but she's with the board co-chair for Tree Sisters International and the founder of Sunshine Hill Sanctuary. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you so much. What an honor and a delight to be here. I title this brief talk, Walking the Heart Road. And I hold in my hands a walking stick from my ancestral Ireland. With it, I call in my Celtic, Germanic, and Nordic ancestors, especially those who walked the right road, the heart road. because I believe that if we endeavor to follow the road that leads directly to our heart, the cosmos will provide for us magical connections that enable us to fulfill our wildest contributions for our beloved Earth. And that road, by the way, led me directly to Tree Sisters. Here's a wee story. It didn't take my engineering degrees to tell me that my work in command and control corporates was not going to fulfill my soul. In fact, despite a successful career, increasingly I became restless, convinced there was something more that awaited me. It wasn't until I was at a healer's intensive with Dina Metzger, where she pulled a book out of thousands at random from her shelf, opened it at random, and read a poem about a woman who vowed to devote her life to save the last patch of green. When I heard those words, I had a strong conviction that I had found my purpose. And that purpose led me to Tree Sisters. Tree Sisters is a UK social change and global reforestation organization that seeks to put tropical reforestation into everyone's hands. With their projects that they support, they enable local communities to have increased livelihoods and do incredible work on behalf of Gaia. They protect endangered species, and they seek to create gender parity and women's empowerment. But friends, Tree Sisters is much more than that. With their mantra of making restoration the new normal, with their invitation for us humans to shift our mindsets from consumers to restorers, with the impeccable way that they call themselves into integrity around ethical environmental action, decolonization, rematriation, and especially with the way they deeply listen to original peoples. Tree Sisters is walking the heart road. And friends, I'm so proud to be co-chair of their board. So my invitation for you, as you consider what you will do to care for one another and Mother Earth, is to heed the advice of Dr. Vandana Shiva, the food sovereignty advocate and scholar from India, who said, "Mother Earth calls to us, take me slow, take me slow." Because we humans are operating at such a fast pace that we are outpacing the guidance that's available from the rest of nature, messages from the more than human world, intuitions, that still small voice that we can only hear when we slow down. Paradoxically, in a code red climate crisis, what we need to do most is slow down and avail ourselves of the superior guidance that's available at nature's pace. So one small bit of homework for you to do in the next 24 hours. Find a spot, slow down, drop into your heart, and consider this question as if it was floating on the winds. What is the more that your heart longs for? What is the more that your heart longs for? Because I believe when you walk that road that leads through your heart, the cosmos, Gaia, all of divine order will align itself so that you can fulfill your most noble contribution on behalf of Earth. I will just say one more line, and that is, I would be remiss if I didn't invite you all to help Tree Sisters put reforestation into everyone's hands, and go to treesisters.org, check it out, and consider donating. Blessings on your journey today, and thank you.
Jennifer, thank you so much. What a fantastic message and one fantastic question. And now to Dr. Karambu Ringera from Nairobi, Kenya, who lives this message, who has started not only an orphanage, but that orphanage is a school, and the school now teaches permaculture, and she has now done this amazing work of empowering the community through the, and I'm going to have you pronounce it, Tiriji Foundation.
Correct.
Regeneration that has reclaimed what was once, and if you could see the before and after of the wasteland that she has restored and is now is teaching others, and it is the most beautiful, lush land. So, Karambu, welcome.
Thank you very much. Wow.
Much, Anne, that introduction, and thank you everyone for being here. My name is Dr. Karambu Ringera. I am calling in from Kenya, and this is the place where we have International Peace Initiatives and the 3G Foundation, the organizations that I founded through which I do my dance with life. My dance with life is done with so-called excluded voices. I say so-called because no one can be excluded except for the systems that human beings have created to box people so that we can help them. No one is helpless, no one is hopeless. When we give them the space and the resources that they need to find who they are and to step into their power. I work with orphans, and I work with women living with HIV and AIDS. I work with women who've been excluded because of so-called poverty. And working with them has taught me a few lessons. And that is what I wish to share with you within these few minutes that I have. Working with excluded voices taught me that these are forms of wasteland that we've created as a society. And my work is to reclaim these spaces. And my work is to hold a space for each and every one who we have named and marked excluded to actually find their voice. So my work is about remembering, RE- and reconfiguring, to reconfigure. In reclaiming, we take responsibility for our situation. That is for the R. The E stands for empoweredness. Empowerment is what we do for other people. Empoweredness is what they choose to do with that empowerment. So everyone has agency. The C stands for courage, which invites us all to be courageous, to step into our highest self. The L stands for love and light, which all of us are born with, divine love and light. The A stands for adjustiveness, the dance that we do with life. The I stands for stepping into our intuition, our divine knowing, our inner knowing, which each one of us has. And the M stands for mindfulness, being present in my life every moment. And in Reclaim, we find our center. We find our source. Because in caring for ourselves and caring for Mother Earth, it shall never happen if I haven't taken care of myself. Our center is finding that space where I am source. Source with a small s, because there is source, the divine entity that is the universe, God, that great essence that created us. Once I know that I am source, from source, then I'm able to stand in my center. So in working with Tiriji Eco Center, and it is also a spiritual center, I have used it to learn in nature what I'm called to do, to step into my center, like in the prayer that grandmother F shared with us. I'm saying that because I can't pronounce her name. It is that center that we are called to step into. And therefore, Mother Teresa is the one who said, we have no peace because we've forgotten who we are. Once we step out of our center, then we forget we are love and light, and everyone is love and light. And when I am aligned with source, I know I am love and light, and that's who shows up every day when I step out of my door. Nature is love and light. It never denies anybody anything. And therefore, I'm going to end with, when I'm aligned with nature, I know there's no road. I make the path as I walk through Mother Earth. I make the road, the path as I go. And the longest journey I will ever make is the journey to my heart, my center, so that I can stand grounded as center for someone else, so that together we can be the hope that we've been looking for. I am the hope that I've been looking for, and so you are, and so it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Karambu. You always come up with the most wonderful, wise words. And now it's my pleasure to introduce you to Donna Goodman, who is the founder of Earthchild Institute, who is the one that sponsored us for the United Nations, is United Nations accredited organization, developed and put together so that children and youth voices were at the table at the United Nations. They were the first. Donna was the first. And she has many great stories to tell you, but she's also done this wonderful, wonderful book called Eco Masters that is about girls and their grandmothers and others saving the world. So Donna, please, hello and welcome.
Hi, and thank you so much for everything. Oh, there's an echo here, sorry. Should I turn down the volume? Is everybody hearing me?
That would help. Turning down the volume will probably help.
Is that better?
Yeah, great.
Can you hear me?
Yep. You're perfect.
Sorry, I'm not. Is that better?
Yeah, you're perfect.
Okay. So as Anne said, I am the founder of Earthchild Institute, which was seeded by Appleseed Annie. Actually, Earthchild Institute came from the Millionth Circle, representing the Millionth Circle at the UN, and Anne was at Global Education Associates at the time, and there was a young Japanese intern who came up with the name. And I, long story short, but GEA no longer had a need for working with children. So Earthchild Institute was born in 2002. And it has always been about empowering today for a sustainable tomorrow. I worked most of my career for UNICEF in water and sanitation and environment, starting on climate change education in 2006, the first climate change conference that included children. And a lot of people don't know that actually children and young people were not a constituency group of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. We actually worked to add the children and youth constituency, which happened in 2009. So we've always been very much involved with the participation of children, especially girls. And the tagline is empowering today for a sustainable future for all. And what I've been doing, I know time is short, so I'm going to go quickly to EcoMasters, which is what I do now. EcoMasters, A Planet in Peril. It's a series of fiction, action, adventure, global, girl-led books and entertainment content, which has girls leading the way, 13-year-old girls in the United States, in Malawi, in Laos, in India. And book one, The Pathfinder, was based on the Pathfinder, which is a girl named Coral based in New York, who finds all the other girls around the world, and they have to get to a hidden training center in the Amazon region in Brazil on an island that I actually found, which is called Illuminata. And the second book, which is coming out soon, we just finished the cover, is Ice and Fire, and it's based in India, at the heart of Mother Ganga. And the girls have to save the glaciers from melting and overflowing the river. And what's so interesting about that is the week that I started writing about it last year, it actually happened for the first time. I mean, now it's happening in a much faster way, stronger way. But these girls, there are 2.2 billion people under the age of 18 on Earth right now. And my belief is that they are the future. And as Anne said in book two, I'll just close with this. In book two, the story unfolds with the great goddess of Mount Everest, whose name was Chumulungma. She was the great goddess of the world. And the story unfolds such that the girls find out that their grandmothers were the first eco-masters, and the grandmothers of these countries are coming together and empowering and sharing power with the girls. And so I thank you so much for the time to say hello to you, and it's an honor to be with you, and thanks so much.
And stay tuned for these wonderful books, and which make a wonderful study thing and wonderful conversations, and we'll probably do that in the Green Tent Circle. So thank you, Donna. Now I'm going to turn it over to Pat Farrell, who's going to guide us in being able to have these conversations now, having heard the speakers in our breakout rooms. Pat. Pat, are you there? Did you get dropped off?
Now I am, yes, I was muted. Can you hear me now? I was muted.
Okay.
I'll start over. What I said may have needed to be heard or not. I said it feels like a plethora of wisdom and wealth from these speakers. And thank you. Thank you so much. We're all here because we love Mother Earth, and we're here with our hearts. So we'll be moving into our breakout circles, and we'll be using the Indigenous circle model that carries the following circle principles. Everyone is equal, and everyone speaks with their heart and listens with their heart. One person speaks at a time, and we will not, comment or interrupt others as they're speaking. And we honor the confidentiality of the circle. Because because our circle process is on Zoom, we'll use the hand raising icon if someone is ready to speak, because it's a little bit hard to just go around in a circle on Zoom. So we'll be moving into our breakout rooms in just a couple of minutes, and hopefully there will already be a facilitator there. If there is not a facilitator, if someone in the circle will volunteer to go first and be the facilitator. We also will need a timekeeper who keeps the time and gently prompts the speaker, maybe even with a minute. They'll be having about 5 minutes apiece when their time is up. We don't have talking sticks, so we're just going to have to find ways to communicate when it's time to move. We'll have 25 minutes, which will be divided up into the number of people, including the facilitator. And also, if someone would be willing to serve as a recorder who takes down the highlights of the inspirations and actions that people talk about, women talk about in the circle, and then the recorder will send their highlights to our website, to our email, which is info@green-tent-circle. And then those, and the questions, I'll share the questions in a minute, and those will also be included in the chat box. So the questions that people will be taking into their circle will be number one, what inspires you? And the second question is, how will you help Mother Earth? And that is, and now I think we move into our circles.
Well, I think we'll have to have translation for those. Angela, are you available? And Eva, are you available to do some translation? Probably just talk about the roles and those principles. Okay?
Also, if someone gets in a group that's not their language group, tell them to come back to the main room and I will put them in the appropriate group.
Great, thank you. And we know that, I don't know if we're going to have enough facilitators, so someone please step in and say, I will be the facilitator.
We have enough facilitators. We have enough facilitators.
Oh,
great.
Perfect. See, the goddess is with us. Okay, Angela, and then then Eva.
Lívia, obrigada a todos pelas palavras inspiradoras que dividiram conosco. O modelo de circularidade indígena que estamos usando carrega os seguintes protocolos. Primeiro, todos são iguais e todos falam pelo coração e escutam com seu coração. Uma pessoa só pode falar a cada momento. Não se pode interromper e também não se podem ter conversas cruzadas. Estejam atentos que nós temos um tempo limitado para falar. Nós honramos a confidencialidade dentro do círculo. Porque estamos no Zoom, devemos levantar a mãozinha do Zoom quando queremos falar. E iremos agora mover para os círculos, os breakout rooms, né, em cada língua, onde cada um vai ter um facilitador, e se faltar algum, pedimos voluntários. E pedimos a alguém também que anote o tempo e as coisas que forem importantes ditas. E também deixar que cada pessoa fale antes da outra começar a falar. Isso pode ser feito através do uso de um pau falante, mas cada um sabe. Nós teremos mais ou menos 25 minutos, que devem ser divididos pelo número de pessoas em cada círculo, incluindo o facilitador. E eu acho que é isso. Ou a pessoa que estiver anotando deve anotar e mandar os pontos importantes para o info@greententcircle.com. E as questões podem ser colocadas no chat. Agora, as questões que serão discutidas são duas. O que lhe inspira? É a primeira. E a segunda é como você pretende ajudar Mãe Terra.
So I'm wondering, because we're 15 minutes late, if we can have the translation in the small groups, so that if that's okay. And we're going to have to cut, we was going to give you 25 minutes. I think we'll have to keep it to 15 or 20 minutes at the most, so that we can have a nice closing. And if there's somebody in your circle that doesn't speak Italian or doesn't understand what we were talking about, come out to the full group and we'll help you. So we're now going to move into our small groups, and just click on what you are. You'll be showing your group, and you'll click on, and you will be magically transported into a small circle.
You'll be sent automatically into your rooms.
We are coming back. And I don't know if everybody is back yet.
Yes.
And if we can have our 5 speakers quickly. I know that Susan was with me. And just to be able to give a short kind of highlight of any last minute message you want to give. So let's start with Susan, if you are unmuted.
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, as far as the message about where we're going with what we're going to be doing, I think that each of us has a deep relationship already to the understanding of the center, which is within us. And we're told all our life, it's not all about you, it's not all about you, but it is all about me, and it's all about you. And I loved what you had to say earlier, our beautiful sister from Africa. Thank you for that. And we are all one. And that is the message to me of the Green Tent. Ahome Takiasi, we are all family. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Livia and Angela, a quick last minute thing to say to the group?
Well,
I mean, for us, we have not a lot of time, but I think that the most important thing, that the importance of stay together between women, and the power of healing and protect each other with our energy.
Okay, and Jennifer.
I've heard so much richness here this morning or this afternoon. Just how nature provides, and the importance of staying, reconnecting and staying connected with the natural world. We are nature and we're not separate, and how to find ourselves in that landscape of the natural world and stay there, because that's where the guidance comes from, in my viewpoint. So thank you.
Thank you. Karambu.
Thank you. We are all connected. We are all interdependent. We are one. And when each one of us steps into our love and light, we are home. And in our group, someone shared that no one needs to be lonely, because when we remember Mother Earth holds us and that we are love and light, then we find home. Thank you.
Thank you. And Donna.
If it's okay with everyone, I'd like to ask Diana to report from our group because she shared a very profound poem and talking about peace building and healing from the heart. Is that okay?
Yeah, if we can find her.
I'm here. I am so grateful for this circle today, and I am. The beauty of this is just brought me home to my heart. So this is a poem I wrote when I saw the pregnant woman being carried out of the maternity center that was bombed in Mariupol. And it called me back in such a deep way to be a midwife with you all for life and for peace. So I'll just share what I wrote. Gestating peace. Peace is active, not passive. Satyagraha means truth, insistence, holding firmly to truth or truth force is a particular form of nonviolent resistance. We dwell in the possibility that creation will outpace destruction, that truth will shatter lies. We dwell in the possibility that remembering past will heal the forgetting and bless the forgotten, opening portals to ancestor wisdom. We dwell in the possibility that Satyagraha, soul force, will melt weapons. We dwell in the possibility that this warming planet will cool as her passion is seeding future in each surviving heart. I dwell in the possibility that the bullies of earth drop dead in mass and the liberation of innocence will begin, even if my body is among the fallen. We dwell in the possibility that our species join all others in ecstatic equality in the body of Lover Earth. We dwell in the possibility that the power of love will overcome the love of power as earth on earth as it is in heaven. We dwell in the possibility that the kindness we see in each other's eyes here now be multiplied 1,000-fold in you and you and you and you as we become the light of the world. We are pregnant with possibility, encircled by midwives, waiting, breathing, weeping, singing, pushing, now, birthing a new story.
Beautiful. Thank you, Diana. Because we're running out of time, I also wanted to have everybody know that please go to our website. I'm going to have Livia be on screen so you can see her. But our website has so many resources and it's just started. Hi, Leah. Can you wave to everybody? And she's working really hard to put it into the different languages, to take these stories, to take these poems. We will have videos, short videos. And Leah, what else am I leaving out? And we have a Facebook page and we have a Facebook group, so join that.
And we have a brand new YouTube channel. So we can interview you and your stories in our virtual green tent and get on broadcast.
Thank you so much. And I wish we could translate all this, but we need to close with LauraSa. And so LauraSa, we're turning it over to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Anne and Leah. And I just want to remind everyone that, we all are one, as previously shared, and all circles that care for one another and Mother Earth are green tent circles. They can be a tent, yurt, sweat lodge, blanket on a beach or in a park. in churches, schools, and community centers. All actions count. On behalf of our Green Tent Circle co-creators, I want to express our deepest gratitude and love to all of our participants for their inspiring work and contributions in today's program. And thank you to each of you also for joining us. As we come to the closing of our sacred circle, it is my joy to invite everyone to join us on Zoom this coming June 5th and 6th in honor of the United Nations 77th anniversary and the 40th anniversary of Peace Sunday 1982, where 100,000 sacred activists came together in Southern California to protect Mother Earth and humanity by preventing another disastrous nuclear war. A nuclear freeze was put in place because of those sacred actions. Sadly, here we are today in 2022, and wars continue on, raging all around the world. Yemen, Syria, Afghanistan, and now in Ukraine. I would like to hereby invite you all to join us in a call to action for us all to make every day a Peace Sunday. Join us in hosting Green Tent Circles and peace building events in your local areas and or online, empowering us to collectively create a more peaceful, equitable, and sustainable world with a much brighter future for all in this beautiful web of life. More information will be posted soon on our websites, thegreententcircle.com and peacesundays.org. We encourage you to take 1% more action to help Mother Earth and humanity. The theme for this year's Peace Sunday anniversary is the power of one dream, one thriving planet, one global family, one child, one man, one woman. We'd like to share with you now the UN Women's song called One Woman. Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, we are going to turn it over to our sister Angela, who will do our sacred chant and mantra for the Green Tent Circles. And sisters, let us all take this time to rise and shine more love and light into the world in the power of oneness. Thank you.
So Angela, if you will put in Portuguese, and we'll have it in Italian, and we'll have it in Spanish. Say it, you can say it in Portuguese. I will help Mother Earth.
Eu vou ajudar Mãe Terra.
Okay, in Italian.
Io vado a aiutare la Madre Terra.
Okay, in Spanish.
Yo ayudaré a la Madre Tierra.
Okay, so all of us are going to say it together in our language. So I will say it in English, you say it in Portuguese, and say it in Italian, and say it in Spanish, and if you say it in Arabic, that is fine too. Are we ready? I will
Voy a ayudar a la Madre Tierra.
I will help
Voy a ayudar a la Madre
Tierra. One more time.
I will help la Madre Tierra.
Mother Earth.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you all. Thank you all.